Since its independence in 1980, Zimbabwe has been the scene of a tumultuous economic saga, with its currency often in the spotlight. A country that began with promises of prosperity and stability found itself in a whirlwind of challenges, with the local currency reflecting the vicissitudes of the times. Zimbabwe Gold, or just ZiG. The introduction of Zimbabwe's new currency replaced the collapsed local dollar with a new gold-backed currency. To better understand Zimbabwe's economic situation and its currency, let's go back in time. 1980 to 1990, the golden years. After decades of fighting for independence, Zimbabwe emerged in 1980 with high hopes and a promising economy. The Zimbabwe dollar ZWD was firm, buoyed by post-independence optimism. Key sectors, such as agriculture and mining, have driven economic growth, with the currency maintaining a solid position in international markets. 1990s, the first cracks. During the 1990s, signs of instability began to emerge. Economic mismanagement and corruption have undermined confidence in both the government and the national currency. Gradually, the value of Zimbabwean dollar began to decline as questionable economic policies hampered the country's economic development. This erosion in confidence has further exacerbated the challenges facing Zimbabwe and undermined its financial stability. 2000s, the rise and fall of hyperinflation. The 2000s were a period of dramatic turning point for Zimbabwe, marked by an unprecedented economic crisis under the leadership of Robert Mugabe. The country plunged into overwhelming hyperinflation, with inflation rates reaching stratospheric levels, rendering Zimbabwean dollar virtually worthless. The government, desperate to contain inflation, began issuing ever higher denomination notes in a futile attempt to keep up with the currency's depreciation. This resulted in a downward spiral where citizens quickly lost trust in the Zimbabwean dollar, leading to a dysfunctional economy and a serious humanitarian crisis. Hyperinflation and the extreme devaluation of the Zimbabwean dollar became painful symbols of a dark era in Zimbabwe's economic history. 2010s, the era of dollarization. Amid the economic chaos that was plaguing Zimbabwe, the country opted for a radical measure in 2009, completely abandoning the Zimbabwean dollar, and adopting dollarization as a monetary strategy. This change meant that foreign currencies, especially the US dollar, became the main form of exchange in the country. While this decision brought a brief period of stability, it also exposed Zimbabwe to a number of challenges, including a shortage of foreign currency. Relying heavily on a foreign currency over which the country had no control, Zimbabwe faced difficulties managing its own monetary policy and dealing with external shocks. Dependence on the US dollar has also put the country at risk of currency fluctuations and economic imbalances, highlighting the complexity and challenges of a dollarized economy in a context like Zimbabwe. For a long time, Zimbabwe remained without its own currency, relying largely on the US dollar and other foreign currencies. Introduction of the new currency. Zimbabwe Gold, or just ZiG. ZiG is presented as a currency with solid fundamentals, backed by gold reserves and supported by a basket of stable foreign currencies. This approach seeks to ensure stability and resistance against the economic turmoil that has plagued the country in the past. The new ZiG currency represents a decisive chapter in Zimbabwe's economic history. As the country ventures into uncharted territory, it remains to be seen whether ZiG will be able to deliver on its promises of stability. At the moment I record the video, ZiG has an initial value of 13.56 per US dollar.